Good morning from
Florence. We're in Florence.
Florence. We're in Florence. We are starting our first day here in Florence, and we're gonna start with a guided tour. We actually have never done a guided tour here. I've been here multiple times, but never taken a guided tour. We sent all of our groups on it. So we're working with our local guide here, Simona, and we're going to take a guided tour and learn all about the city center.
My sunglasses.
And all the fun things. Oh, that's okay, because in Florence we're buying new sunglasses. Yay! Our hotel is just down a main road here, and you can see up there, and that's one of the main piazzas. And then behind us, down the other way, is another main piazza where Santa Croce is. Pretty much everything in Florence is walkable.
And Florence is amazing.
It's amazing, yeah. But you really want to stay sort of towards the Duomo, Santa Croce, or you could stay out towards Pitti Palace on the other side of the river, but this is probably the best side to be on.
Don't cross the river. You want to be able to at night just
it depends if you're looking for value. If there may be cheaper places over there, I can understand that. But over here is ideal. Really, anywhere over here, and everything's walkable. You don't need to take a taxi. There's
not many cars in the road.
Yeah, it's just beautiful.
You won't be able to drive your own car all the way down here?
Yeah, you'll have to take a cab from the train station, or you can walk with your luggage, or a taxi from the airport, because yeah, they have it's limited driving in here, so you can't drive your own car. But you just get a ticket probably. Yeah. So a quick overview of the city here. We are in the Palazzo Publico, and this is the belly button of the city, and it's equidistant to the religious center of the city, which is where the Duomo is, and then the political center, which is where the town hall is.
And this part's got Braille on it.
Yeah, it has Braille, and this was the original town walls here, around here, and then they grew. And this archway here is a direct replica of Arc de Triomphe, which is a direct replica of
the arch in Rome. So Napoleon saw it and he's like, I want to be like Julius Caesar and come through the arch. So Constantine times. There's a couple people in here that really know their history, so correct me if I'm wrong.
This is what a traditional house looked like, sort of like a medieval style. And the reason that those angles of the house go up to the right is because there's really high taxes on the lower floors. So they made them narrower and they buckled them out as they went up to the living quarters to save on taxes.
Okay, shall we do the stairs?
That's amazing, the roof.
This is the Sala Madornale. This is the large dining room. In this dining room, they would eat when they had also guests. Otherwise, they wouldn't bother using such a large one.
These little panels opened up to like a hole in the floor to the main entrance of the house, and they'd open this up, and if the house is being attacked, they would like throw things down at people or boiling oil, so sort of like a defense mechanism. This is right above the main doors below.
Above you have different fruit trees and different birds. So a type of decoration very natural, very nice, pleasant for this type of room, which is the dining room for the family. So when they have no guests, they will dine here.
This is the fanciest street in Florence, and you can see it's lined with all these wonderful stores. And on both ends there's a palazzo owned by very famous families, this end being Ferragamo's. And that was actually bought for the equivalent of €1 way back when. It was bought for 2,000 lira. That's the Holy Trinity Bridge there, but this is sort of like the elegant street, which is west of the main part. We're on the Piazza San Spirito, just across the bridge from the main part of town. It's really cool because that's a cathedral there, or a church, and then across the way here was a monastery, and that's where Michelangelo and Leonardo dissected bodies late at night to be able to learn what the inside of the body was like. So Michelangelo wanted to learn how to draw them better as an artist, but Leonardo was more interested in how they worked, functions of the body, more like an invention, learning how things function versus just learning how to depict them. The interior here is really interesting too because it looks so fascinating on the inside, but the outside is so basic. And everything in here is a multiple of 12. The design, the measurements, everything. This is the Pitti Palace, which is just across the river. And fun fact, this used to actually only be 7 windows wide, so from the center there are 7 windows in total. But they hired some of the best architects in the world, the Medicis, and they expanded it so it goes all the way out. Now it's 1,000 feet wide with 350 rooms. That's the final palace of the Medicis.
Yes.
Tell us where the name Margherita Pizza came from.
Because one of the wives, like, she called her an anorexic queen, but I think she probably had food allergies or something. And then they finally found something that she wanted to eat, so they named it after her, Margherita.
A cook in Napoli, which is where the pizza is from. That's where they called it. Napoli pizza, and that's where the pizza came from. And
yes.
It's a Margherita pizza because she finally liked it, so Napoli Margherita. Ponte Vecchio, great for your shopping.
No.
You know we'll be back here.
It's expensive.
It is very expensive. There's a whole bunch of like jewelry shops here though, and there's watches and purses. And it's kind of cool because it doesn't even feel like you're going over a bridge. This is the one bridge that wasn't bombed and it was saved in the wartime. So it's like sort of a very peak tourist site and very cool to walk across. You can see the history just in the building here, even the sides up here. Very cool looking. All along the Ponte Vecchio there's little viewpoints and you can see these great buildings on the side, and the Arno River, because it was just raining, is very brown right now, but it's typically quite brown. We're not going to take you into the museum, but this is the replica of the David, and actually all these statues that are on this square are all originals except for the David. So that's the, wait, I don't remember the name, but that was just a $600 million renovation. Remember the name of that guy? Water God. Anyhow, all these guys over here are also all originals. So those are original sculptures. Just the David that's not an original sculpture.
There's public access to beautiful art.
Yeah, and it's absolutely amazing. They really are beautiful.
I don't know what we're gonna say, but I'm on a hunt for pizza.
We're going to find a really good pizza place on that same note that our guide recommended. You can do a lot of different walking tours here. Like you can book with Get Your Guide or whatnot and just book them. We hired a private guide because we were already a large group and you usually pay $20–25 a person to get in with a guide. So we're like, okay, well, for the price, it wasn't that much more just to hire a private one, and we worked with Simona Conti for work. So we just hired her to take us around, and guides are about 70 euros an hour, so it's about 200 euros for a 3-hour tour, but you cover pretty well all of the highlights. You don't go into any of the museums and whatnot. We went into the old house, but you cover all the highlights, and that's really
They give you so
what
much
counts.
information about the best this and the best that, and this is where you go, and if that's worth it in itself. It saves you so much time saying, oh no, don't go here, and
well, let's just say guides are expensive, but honestly you learn so much about the actual city itself, especially when it's got history like this. So it's kind of nice to do it, so we just did that, and we're gonna visit the Leonardo da Vinci Museum afterwards, but first we're on the hunt for some of the best pizza in the city. All right, here's our lunch. This is some of the best pizza in the city. So I've got a burrata and Parma ham pizza, and then Katie has a cooked ham and 4 cheese pizza. This is where we just had our lunch. La Bussola, really delicious, really good quality pizza. It was kind of nice because we've had a couple of sort of crummier pizzas, mediocre ones, but that was a really good pizza. Average pizza, but that was really good. The crust is amazing. It's almost like sourdoughy. Yeah, really reasonable. Like the pizzas are pretty cheap, and pastas even. You can really eat pretty cheap in the city, unless you're sitting at like a really fancy place or like right on the square.
You have to kind of think of, even though it's not the conversion in any way, €1 is $1, just to think if it's good value, because everything's so much more expensive, even though it's about $1.50 Canadian. If you think of it that way, it gives you a comparison point for, is this a reasonable price? Because everything here inherently is just way more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as you convert it over from a euro to a Canadian dollar or a US dollar, it's considerably more, but it is what it is. It's just part of travel.
Yeah.
And bang, beautifully right near the center in Florence, you have this amazing Duomo. It's absolutely stunning looking. Frontal view of the cathedral here. It's absolutely beautiful. And some people, when they see it, begin to burst into tears and say, and that's sort of a fun fact. It's a total fun fact.
Who's crying inside?
Apparently it's just the beauty of it brings them to tears. This is a true story. Google it. It's a true story.
No.
Florence is literally full of street after street after street like this, some busier than others, where there's beautiful shops and Just so many areas to wander and explore.
And eat.
And eat and yes, all the amazing things. So when you come here, you can spend days just meandering through the streets. And there's markets and museums and everything. Here's the entrance to the Academia, and your best bet is to either come with a guide and then you skip the line right ahead, or buy pre-reserved tickets and then there's like no line. If you don't have that, you gotta wait in this long line to get in without reserved tickets.
See David.
The trick with a lot of these museums is to book your tickets in advance. So buy them online, like getyourguide.com or something like that. You can buy them the day before, literally. You can literally book them the day before on something like Get Your Guide, and you just skip the lines, or book a guided tour and you'll just walk right in. Because otherwise you stand outside half the day just waiting, which is absolutely pointless.
Yeah, you have to think what your time's worth, and for certain big sites that are must-sees, you really need to be strategic.
Yeah, 100%. Anyhow, within Florence, there is a number of museums to go see. Your two big ones basically are the Uffizi, and then also the Accademia, which is where the David is, the actual original David. Those are the two big ones. Those are the ones for sure you need to pre-buy tickets. You can also go to the Bargello, which is a good museum. There's a number of other museums like Ferragamo Shoe Museum. There's the...
We went and saw that.
We did one last time. There's also the Leonardo da Vinci Museum, which is where we're going now. Going to the museum is the museum on Di Servi Street. So it's just up from the Duomo. Real easy to get to. We're waiting.
This was the best one to go to.
Yes, there's a few. This is the best one. One of the other big things you can do in the city is shop, of course. Tons of shopping, which we've mentioned a couple times. They have a lot of different markets. So you have like the San Lorenzo leather market, you've got the straw market, lots of different areas. Yeah, it's not straw, anyways. So there's a couple different museums, or a couple different markets you can go to do your shopping. We're gonna show those in a separate video altogether because they're worthy of their own videos, so you'll check back for the other ones on the markets here in the city. But tons of different markets you can shop. Such a cool city, for sure need 3 or 4 days. 1 day is fine, but take more time, enjoy the city. So you can see inside here they've got like model structures of all the different inventions, and you can actually play with some of them. So it's a little more kids oriented, like I said, but it's pretty cool. Like, it's kind of fun even for adults just to play with the different inventions that he had and see how much of a genius this man was. Genius! Wrapping up our day today, awesome, had a really good time walking around Florence. There's just so much to see. You could spend way more than a full day here, but if you really had to, you could do it in a day, I guess. What's wrong with you?
So much peanut butter in my mouth. Turn it off. I don't need to focus on it. Florence is amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite cities in the whole world.
Stay tuned. We're gonna be back at you tomorrow with a video on the markets. Katie's favorite day. We're gonna be shopping. So
Mark loves it too.
I do. I love the markets. I love the leather goods.
He bought way more than I did.
I did, yeah. And we're gonna buy a bunch more. So we'll see. I just loaded my wallet up with some cash for tomorrow. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe up here. Check out our most recent other videos over here, or subscribe to our other channel over here.